Hi there. Today we're going to be installing this H&G Lifestyle whole house water filtration system. These are the connections that come with. As you can see, they're threaded on one end, meant for PEX tubing on the other end. You've got a couple washers here or clamps that you can put on the PEX. We don't have PEX. We have threaded fittings because we had a previous system here already. So we're going to use a different system. We're going to have threaded on both sides. Nice thing, it does come with some Teflon tape. Let's wrap that several times. I've already got 3 on there. There's 3 more. That's 6. Goes right in this hole here. These arrows here. There's definitely a flow to this system. Everything going this way says in. So this side is where the water's coming in out from the street. This is going through the system and back out to the house. So that's how that will work. You can see why it would be a lot easier doing this here than it would be on the wall in confined situation where you got the wall working against you on one side and the system working against you on the other. So I just like to do it in advance. We had a system up here before, and so I don't want to take this blocking down because it's up there very securely. And the 2 holes that come with the system were a little wider than what would make me comfortable on this blocking because it's too close to the edge. So I actually created 2 new holes here. And I'm not using this system. I don't want to attach this to some block or concrete block or anything like that this is meant to do. I'm going to actually attach it to this 2x4 plate on the wall. So I'm going to get started here with a lag bolt and a washer. I'm going to keep them both very loose for right now because I am going to level that. A little low on the right side. Right there. Okay, again, be careful that you're not cross-threaded. And when you're putting your Teflon tape on, always put it on in the same direction that the nut is going to go on. That's very important kind of rule in plumbing. One nice thing about this system here is it's got a charcoal filter in it, which our old system didn't have. So we're going to actually have much purer water, which is a big plus. All right, that's getting good and tight. These 1-inch fittings have awfully large nuts on them, and I don't have a crescent wrench that fits, so I'm having to use my channel locks. I'm sure I can get a good tight fitting, especially with all this Teflon tape I've got on there. All right, that's good and tight. It's very important that you have, again, this going in the proper direction. Water coming in, water going out, coming in from the street, going out to the main house. I had to change this down here because there was a loop here. There used to be this water softener here, and there was a water softener loop. And so I had to modify that. As you can see, I put in an on and off, a valve here that shuts the water off, so I don't have to go outside and shut the water off at the house anymore. I can do it right here. And it's really handy when you're going to want, down the road, you're going to want to change filtration, the filters in the system. You just shut it off here instead of having to run all the way outside and shutting it off at the street. And what I did is I just converted it from 3/4 inch copper to this flex line, which is, you can get those at Home Depot or Lowe's. And if you're not comfortable with doing this, get yourself somebody that is, because it's important. You don't want to mess this part up. Now I'm going to do something that's not called for in the instructions anywhere, but I'm going to tighten all these screws just to make sure that they're good and tight, holding that filtration system. So you can see right here, look at how loose that one is. I'm going to tighten it down really good. Okay, very important when you're pulling the the containers off the system when you first get it, that you keep them in order. There's a specific order for these filters, where we have one that removes kind of like the heavy metals and stuff, and then this one gets a charcoal filter, which removes a lot of impurities. Then it goes through this cotton filter, which cleans the water up really nicely. So it's important that you keep them in the same order, and be sure you pull off the cellophane. These things come with cellophane on them. It's important that you make sure that this O-ring is in place. If you have any lubricant, it would be nice to put just a little bit of lube on that O-ring so that when you're tightening it up there, it tightens up real nice and doesn't come off. All right, line it up. It's always just nice to start some of these backwards. Spin it a little bit backwards so you find the right thread. Feel that? Did you feel it? I don't know if you felt that go up like I did, but I felt it go up. With this system, you get this nice little wrench. You don't want to go too crazy tight. You just want to give it a snug fitting, so give it a good little snug. That's good. Next one is the charcoal filter. Same thing. Give it a little backward spin. Now the telltale sign. We got leaks or not. I'll fucking know here shortly. We did good. No leaks. Now, what you want to do when you go inside and you turn your water on, which we probably should go inside and show you, the water may be black because it's going to be rinsing that charcoal out for the very first time. They recommend that you let that run for 15 to 30 minutes to get rid of that blackness. It will eventually go away. So I'm going to tell you that I just turned the water on here and it's nice and clear. But I will tell you, before I went out to work, I flushed this toilet to help drain the line. So the toilet has automatically filled itself. Look at the bowl.
And that's charcoal.
That's charcoal. And you can see it's still coming up. How long will these filters last? Well, it's kind of a crazy question. Depends on how much water you go through. So if you're a family of 6, they might last you 3-4 months. If you're a family of 2, they might last you 5, 6, 7 months. You don't know. But a good indicator is if you lose water pressure in your house, it's probably starting to fill these filters up because it's holding back, it's restricting that water flow. So keep an eye on water restriction as you go about your daily business. But count on 3 to 6 months for each of these filters. And you can get them the same place you bought the filter.